Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? And welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be trying something a little new, as this channel kind of progresses a little bit, we're going to kind of start trying some new methods. So we're going to try some of the IRL content, and we're going to kind of see how you like it. It's not going to be really anything extreme. It's just going to be like, from time to time I'll post some railroad crossing videos on this channel, fire alarm videos, fire extinguisher videos. It'll take time, but we'll get there. So sit back, relax, enjoy. And today we are going to be going over my fire extinguisher collection. Now, the fire extinguisher collection is not really big. I am expanding it as time goes on, so it's going to take some time to expand it and, make it how I want, make it big as I want it to. So yeah. In total, we have a total of 7 fire extinguishers in this collection. So yeah, I'm going to show you all 7 of them, and sit back, relax, enjoy. So right here, I have a Kita F85G fire extinguisher. You can kind of see that right there. This is a UL listed extinguisher. You can kind of notice something a little different about this extinguisher. This extinguisher is an older Kita extinguisher, and in fact, a fun little fact about these Kita fire extinguishers, if you take a look at the bottom of the fire extinguisher, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a little hard to see, but at the bottom of every Kita fire extinguisher, there's a 2-digit number, and as you can see, that number indicates the year that this fire extinguishers were manufactured. As this right here, this says 05. This fire extinguisher was manufactured in 2005. So as you can see, you can tell this fire extinguisher was manufactured in 2005 because the things you can kind of notice by the little instruction tag, as you can see, and you can also tell that this was also manufactured in 2005, or this is an older Kita fire extinguisher because this Kita fire extinguisher has the plastic handle. It has the plastic handle, and if correct me if I'm wrong, but back in 2017, Kita had a big recall on many fire extinguishers that had plastic handles and push buttons because they were defective, weren't working, or the handles were popping off, causing injury. Now, a little thing about this extinguisher, the fire extinguisher, the needle is in the red, indicating that it's empty, but this fire extinguisher actually came from my grandma's. This is my grandma's old fire extinguisher that she had in the closet. Since then, I've bought her 2 brand new fire extinguishers, which replaced this one. And as you can see, the needle's in the red because over the years it sat in the closet, and over the years it's lost pressure. Over the years, now as you can see, I'm holding it. It's pretty full. There's still stuff in there, but it's just lost pressure over the year because of how old it is. But yeah. Now we're going to move on to the next fire extinguisher. The next fire extinguisher that we have here is a First Solar. This is the camera can focus. This is the First Solar FE1810GR. This is actually older First Solar. The older First Solar and the new First Solar is still pretty much similar. There's nothing that changed about it over the years. This one is also UL listed. And this fire extinguisher was actually, if we take a look on the side, this fire extinguisher was actually manufactured, as you can see right there, this fire extinguisher was actually manufactured in 2012. Now, this fire extinguisher was also a replacement. This fire extinguisher also came out of my grandma's house. This was the one that was in her kitchen before I bought a brand new one, and the brand new fire extinguisher replaced this one. So as you can see, the difference with this First Solar, the new First Solars, and the newer model First Solars and the older ones look pretty much similar, pretty much identical, except the only difference with the old First Solar fire extinguishers is that there's not the little logo inside of it. It just says First Solar. And these fire extinguishers pretty much are for residential use. You don't really see these fire extinguishers in commercial settings because not many fire extinguisher technicians inspect these First Solar fire extinguishers, because I'm pretty sure that some of the parts they don't, not only do they not inspect these, but they don't service these or recharge these because the parts that they use don't match with the parts on the extinguisher because, from my knowledge, First Alert fire extinguishers they don't even use the dry chemical. The dry chemical that they use is like a Chinese type of dry chemical compared to the dry chemical extinguishers that are American made. This First Alert fire extinguisher is full. It does have pressure. As you can see while I'm holding it. But yeah. This is the First Alert fire extinguisher that I have in the collection. Now we're gonna move on to the next fire extinguisher. Next fire extinguisher we also have another First Alert fire extinguisher, kind of pretty much identical to the one that I showed you guys, except this fire extinguisher right here. This model is a, if the camera can focus, this model is a FE1A10G195 fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher was manufactured in 2024, so this is the new First Alert fire extinguisher. Only thing about this one's in silver. This one's in like a matte gray or silver, whatever you want to call it, gray. And you can notice this fire extinguisher is brand new. I got this fire extinguisher literally a couple months ago, and like I said, looks pretty much similar to the other First Alert, except this one's gray, and this one has the new First Alert logo at the bottom of the extinguisher. And yeah, so yeah, I like this extinguisher. I bought it off of Amazon. I only got it because it looked cool, and it looked pretty nice to have in the collection. So yeah, that's that. And pretty much kind of the same overview like the other First Alert, etc. So I'm not gonna really go into depth with that. So yeah, now we're gonna move on to the next fire extinguisher. The next fire extinguisher we have a 4-pound First Alert ABC fire extinguisher, and this fire extinguisher is this is the model FE2A10GR. This fire extinguisher was also manufactured in 2024, and I got this fire extinguisher off of Amazon a couple months ago. The only difference with this fire extinguisher is the 4-pound fire extinguisher, and this fire extinguisher, it has a nozzle. This is the one with the hose. It has a nozzle. It's an ABC extinguisher, and of course, being that it was manufactured in 2024, it has the new First Alert logo right there, as you can see. Personally, I love this fire extinguisher. I really wanted to get a 10-pound fire extinguisher like this in white, but prices of fire extinguishers are, they're not cheap. These fire extinguishers, obviously the First Alert extinguishers, they're not that pricey. It just really depends on size and it depends on the model that you get. But personally, I like this fire extinguisher. I love it, and I just thought it was really cool to have in my collection. So yeah, now we're gonna move on to the next extinguisher. All right, the next fire extinguisher we have is a Kita fire extinguisher, and this is the Kita. Well, you can see all the information right there. I was trying to look for the model number. I think it's on the other side. Huh. Well, if you see the model number, then yeah. But this is also UL listed, and as you can see, it says classification. This is for special purpose, so this is pretty much a kitchen fire extinguisher. As you can see, this is white and white. So pretty much, being that this is a kitchen fire extinguisher, I would assume this extinguisher is a BC only fire extinguisher. If we take a look at the bottom, this fire extinguisher was also manufactured in 2024. So this is the new Kita fire extinguisher. So this is the one with the new handles. Instead of the plastic handles, they have these handles now, and you can see the nozzle is a little bigger to kind of give more coverage, when extinguishing a kitchen fire. I like this fire extinguisher. I believe I got this fire extinguisher at Walmart. I think I got like for like $20 at Walmart. And overall, it's a nice fire extinguisher. I like it. Something to have in the collection, So yeah, now we're gonna move on to the next fire extinguisher. All right, the next fire extinguisher we have another Kita fire extinguisher, and this Kita fire extinguisher. Here's all the information on the side of it, and on this side, this is a ABC fire extinguisher. This Kita fire extinguisher was also manufactured in 2024 as well. If the camera were focused, that would be nice. You can't really see because the camera's out of focus, but this is an ABC extinguisher. And as you can see, this is a disposable extinguisher, so once you use it, you have to throw it away. You have to get a fire extinguisher. Same thing with the white fire extinguisher right there. That's also a disposable fire extinguisher, and that one's also a disposable fire extinguisher as well. This is an ABC extinguisher. It's nice. I like it. Something to have in the collection. And yeah, we're gonna move on to the last fire extinguisher. All right, and the last fire extinguisher that we have in the collection up here, we have this Kita ABC extinguisher. This is a 10-pound fire extinguisher. Can't really see the model number on that, but this is a 10-pound fire extinguisher. I believe this is the Pro Series. This is the Pro Series Kita fire extinguisher. I got this at Home Depot for about like I think $70. Yes, they're kind of a little pricey at Home Depot. This is a ABC extinguisher. You can tell this is a Pro Series. It has the yellow tip at the end of the nozzle. This is a rechargeable extinguisher, and this is intended for commercial use. I really don't feel like tilting it over because I don't want the fire extinguisher to fall over. But I believe this fire extinguisher, in fact, if I can actually try to tilt it over without knocking it over, this was manufactured in 2023. So this is the newer Kita fire extinguisher with that handle. Overall, I like it. This was actually the first fire extinguisher that I put in the collection. This was the very first fire extinguisher that I bought, and then after that we just kept adding on, so on and so forth. So yeah, this is the very first fire extinguisher to be in the collection, and overall I like it. Alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap up the video for the my fire extinguisher collection. Like I said, I know it's not really a big collection. It's pretty small, but as time goes on, I'm going to expand the collection. But for now, we're just going to kind of keep the collection as it is until we have a little more space to put the extinguishers. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the IRL content, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see how these videos do, and if these videos do well or decent, we're going to continue to do them. I will do a video on my fire alarm collection. Like I said, they're not fire alarm collections, the same thing. It's not really big. I got about 5 fire alarms in the collection, so I will do a separate video on those at some point in time. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.